Hello, everyone. This is Logan59XP here, and apologies there. Apparently, I screwed up and I accidentally set the live stream to made for kids, so the chat was disabled. So I went ahead, deleted that stream, restarted the stream, set it to not for kids, and now the chat should be working, so now it should all be good. So if you saw two notifications, that's why I accidentally screwed up and clicked the wrong option in OBS. But we're good now, and we are just in time because we are here to catch the new state of play. What do I want to see from this? I mean, Wolverine, like, it's been 4 years. It was announced 4 years ago. It is time we see it, and it's also heavily rumored to be here. So that's the main thing I want to see. Just give us Wolverine finally. Just give us something on Wolverine. Anything else is gravy as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure we'll see more of the Marvel Tokon game. That's obviously a big deal. It's not a game I'm personally interested in, but I know it's a big deal in the fighting game community. And of course, it is a pretty cool looking game. I know there was some beta tests that happened recently, so yeah, I'm sure we'll see more on that. And whatnot, but yeah, I really just want to see Wolverine. That's really just it at this point. Just give me Wolverine. So yeah, any minute now. It's officially 2, but the stream has not started just yet. We're about a minute away. Yeah, I guess there's also Venom as well, but I'm more interested in Wolverine personally. Obviously because that's like, it's Wolverine, and, you know, it's like new and everything. I mean, obviously I hope we see Venom as well, but what I really want to see is just Wolverine. Just give us Wolverine. Yeah, outside of that, there's really not much that like has any chance of being here. I mean, obviously, I'd like to see more Persona 4 Rewind, but that's probably going to be saved for an Xbox event down the line, or maybe Atlas will do an event down the line. That's not going to be here. Atlas stuff is not in Sony events anymore. That ship has sailed. So, yeah, I don't know. Just give me Wolverine. That's really all I gotta say. But we'll see what happens. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Okay, starting off a first party. Oh, I know what this is. This is the new Housemarque game that was announced last year, I believe. Yeah, this is the new Housemarque game. That when they revealed it, kind of looked like it was Death Stranding, even though it obviously wasn't. Okay, there's no captions. I am watching this via the IGN stream, not the official PlayStation one, so I'm not sure if that's going to have any effect on the subtitles. Why am I watching this via the IGN stream and not the official stream? Well, it's because on the official stream you have to sign in for some reason. There's like an age verification thing, and I don't really feel like signing in on the secondary browser, so we'll just watch the IGN stream. Not like it makes any real difference. Yeah, Housemarque. Yeah, this is the Housemarque game. The second I saw that sun, I was like, oh yeah, this is Housemarque. I never played Returnal. Heard it was good, but I never played it. Is this a 60 FPS stream or a 30? It says it's 60. Well, the gameplay we're seeing is 30, but again, I don't know if that's because this is like a secondary stream and not the official one, or if it just or if the mode they're showing really is a 30 FPS mode. I mean, I am sure there will be a 60 FPS mode, to be clear. But we're only seeing a 30 FPS mode right now. So how have I been? I've been doing fine. Doing alright here. Nothing really has changed all that much.
By absorbing projectiles, hit back hard using your power weapon.
Weird that the stream is kind of hitching.
Holding the adaptive trigger on L2, you'll be able to destroy enemies using Eclipse-driven weaponry.
Yeah, gameplay-wise, from what I have seen of Returnal, this looks very much like it's in that vein.
Where you can learn more.
It's not a sequel to Returnal, as far as I know, but it's definitely in that same vein. Sure.
Hold up for me. I will find you.
Does this have a release date? I don't think it does. If I remember, I don't think it does. Okay, I think that's IGN. I think that's their stream doing that, because notice how there's not a circle, like a scroll, like a loading circle? I don't know why I'm forgetting the name. There's no loading animation when it freezes, so I think that's just IGN's stream being weird for some reason.
There's a
But,
second chance.
yeah.
You can be revived on first step to get straight back into the action. The second chance is part of our permanent progression system.
I think the bitrate isn't as good as it could be as well. I feel like if we were watching the official stream, it would look better. Because even though this is a 4K stream, because it's being re-encoded, you know, twice, essentially, because it's a secondary stream, I don't think it looks as good as it should. Saw a decent amount of pixelization with all that movement. I mean, to be clear, 4K on YouTube is not flawless, but it should look better than that. But, whatever. This isn't the most important stream in the world. I don't need it to be perfect image quality-wise. I'll live.
The sun is forever.
Oh, it's their 30th anniversary.
Love that first look at gameplay.
How are I doing?
We're looking forward to
Marvel
more
Zombies
on
just
our
got released
mysterious
today?
and moving story and have an
Okay, then.
amazing ensemble cast of NPCs in the coming months.
I'm probably never gonna watch that one,
When you'll be able to play Sarah
only because I never even watched the last 2 seasons of What If. I only watched the first season.
from all of the team
I didn't watch seasons 2 or 3, and this is obviously a spin-off. A spin-off of an episode people like. Like, people liked the Zombies episode, so it makes sense to do a whole series based on it. Especially because, of course, it's a thing in the comics, but I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna watch it. Like, I know I've said multiple times that I'm going to catch up on all the stuff I've missed eventually, but that's only for the stuff that, like, is canon. Anything that's not canon, I'm probably not going to bother with. Like, I'm not going to bother with the rest of What If. I'm not going to bother with Marvel Zombies. I'm not going to bother with that Spider-Man show that looks like the 60s. That, like, 3D CG show that looks like it's from the 60s. We're not going to watch that because none of that stuff is canon. I don't need to watch that. But I will watch Agatha. I will watch Daredevil. I will watch whatever else I've missed eventually because that's all canon, regardless of how much interest in it I do or do not have. But okay, so they opened up with the Housemarque game. Okay, not a bad way to open it. Obviously, if Wolverine is in this, they're going to save it for the end. So we better sit in. How long is this going to be, by the way? Do we have a time frame for this? Does IGN say how long it is? 35 minutes, okay. So not quite 45. I feel like they're normally 45. Or maybe that's just because that's what most directs are. I don't know. I feel like the state of play has been 45 minutes, at least for like the regular ones. Maybe I'm just misremembering.
We'll do what we always do. Throw more assets at the problem. We have plenty more.
I guess. She's a pathetic, fragile embarrassment. And her methods are so unhinged.
But they get results, no?
Long-range missiles get results.
Our little flame
Yeah, I don't know what's up with IGN.
of history.
And I'm convinced that's IGN, and not me, because yeah, my internet is definitely not the problem. I can assure you of that. Also, none of the previous streams we've ever watched have had this issue where it consistently like stutters. So that's just on IGN, but whatever. This is Microsoft Flight Sim, 100%. Was this confirmed for PlayStation already? It might have been. I'm not sure. I mean, either way, no one's surprised. Okay, yeah, we're gonna switch streams. We're gonna switch streams here. Let me go ahead. Let me find another stream that doesn't stutter and hitch. Again, I can't watch the official one because the official one I have to be signed in for, and I don't want to sign in right now. So, because I'm on a secondary browser right now. Let's see. Okay, GameSpot. GameSpot's actually a little further ahead. So yeah, Flight Sim December. Okay, so Flight Sim's a little further. Sorry, GameSpot's actually further ahead. So sure. But it's only 1080p. Whatever. We'll live. We'll live.
Hostiles inbound.
See, I don't know if that was confirmed or not already, but
East side. Moving right to left. I got 3 west side. Frame shoot. On the T of execute.
this can't be Call of Duty because this is a PlayStation event. It wouldn't be at a PlayStation event, right?
1. Execute.
Oh, it's Battlefield 6. Okay.
The world as it's commonly known has crumbled.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't going to be Call of Duty because obviously Call of Duty is Microsoft now. Okay. Single player. Now, Battlefield 2042 did not have a single player, which I personally didn't mind because I don't really play the single players, but it's cool that we're getting a single player again.
You're playing a dangerous game, no doubt about it. Wouldn't be Dago without insurmountable odds.
The whole world's gonna look different now. Just takes a little shake of perspective.
Gotta love a challenge.
It's still hitching and stuttering. That's, like, weird. What is up with this?
Stand by for re-attack call.
Well, okay, it's not hitching as much, but you can hear, like, the audio stutter every few seconds, right? You're hearing it, right?
Kincaid will pay for this.
But we don't know how high it goes.
You trying to start a war with the CIA?
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that.
This is it. I know what I gotta do.
Hey everyone, I'm Sean Benson.
Okay, that stutter was a lot more obvious that time.
And release dates for games coming to PS5.
But first, thanks to EA and Battlefield Studios for that new look at the single-player campaign for Battlefield 6. It launches October 10th on PS5.
Now, let's celebrate one of my favorite games of all time, which is marking its 25th anniversary this year. Deus Ex Returns. This PS5 remaster is
Okay.
a collaboration between Eidos Montreal and Aspyr, the studio behind remastered classics like Tomb Raider and Soul Reaver.
It's way back to the people. And you can't do
Okay, this is kind of a big deal. Deus Ex, the original, is a very influential game in the industry.
To uncover the truth.
Vision is augmented.
This new version adds enhanced visuals, overhauled controls, and support for key PS5 features like
Yeah, it's definitely not a remake. You can tell it's definitely not a remake. It's very much an enhanced version of the original.
emphasis on choice and consequence. No two playthroughs unfold the same.
But yeah, no, this is neat.
Deus Ex Remastered arrives on PS5 early next year.
That's cool.
It's almost Halloween, and you know what they say, everyone's entitled to one good scare. Death comes to Haddonfield in Halloween the Game, a tribute to the John Carpenter classic. The team at IllFonic invites players to an asymmetrical horror sandbox where you can play as a civilian survivor or Michael Myers himself. In each game, it's up to you as survivors to save these hapless townfolk or to hunt them down as Michael Myers. He possesses unique
Oh, there's the
abilities
theme.
to quick jump,
Gotta have the theme, right?
around the map unseen and pop out where you'd least expect him. Playing as a civilian, it's up to you to lead townsfolk to safety, find a phone, and call the police for help. Civilians can also scavenge for gear and weapons to help them survive when they inevitably cross paths with the unstoppable Michael Myers. Become the boogeyman or protect his victims when Halloween.
Yeah, I don't really know what to do about this. Like it's still like hitching and stuttering, and the audio is kind of messed up, and the footage is not really 60 at all. Like it's all just kind of 30. Like I'm not really sure what to do.
Epoch is in development for a PS5. This celebrated dungeon crawler is known for its extensive skill.
Are we gonna find another one?
rewarding loot system.
I guess we're gonna find another one.
You'll battle.
What the?
You'll battle through the past, taking down gods.
Come
and
on.
battling cursed empires to save
Maybe I should just sign in and watch the official stream. Let's see. Game trailers. Okay. Hold on.
toppling cursed empires to save the world from its ruined future.
Maybe now it'll be fine, hopefully.
As for that second announcement,
Do you hear that stock sound effect? Not that that's a problem or anything, but I just recognized
Epoch's first major
that I heard that like stock sound effect.
time as the upcoming PS5 release. The Seven Deadly Sins Origin is an open-world RPG based on the beloved Japanese series, offering a vast single-player campaign and multiplayer areas where
Okay, so far so good. The stream seems to be stable.
Follow in the footsteps of Tristan.
It's not hitching or stuttering anymore.
Play an original story you can
So I think we'll just stick to this stream. And we should be fine, hopefully.
Go fishing. Cook your own meals. Mine resources and craft new items as you explore Britannia on your own. Or step beyond the open world to tackle dungeons with a team of up to 4 other players. In a multiverse that transcends time and space, original heroes join forces with beloved characters from the series to embark on a grand adventure.
I watched the first movie and the first movie only.
Venture
Seem to
out
talk
alone
about
or
Halloween.
with friends
Okay,
to
so it
explore
just
the
hitched
Seven
again.
Deadly Sins Origin arrives on January 28th.
See, I really don't know why it's doing that.
Two iconic characters finally meet in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, launching on PS5 tomorrow.
Mega Man?
Mega Man
Okay.
and his trusty vehicle, the Rush Roadster, join the lineup as part of the Mega Man DLC pack that arrives
I
early
think that's a new reveal. I don't think we knew about that before.
But they're not alone. Proto Man also speeds into the pack.
Okay, then.
Also included is a stunning reimagining of Dr. Wily's castle from the Mega Man series. Familiar sights and sounds will take players back to some of Mega Man's most memorable adventures.
That's neat. That's neat.
The Mega Man DLC pack comes to PS5 next year as part of the Season Pass and Digital Deluxe Edition. The early unlock period is already underway, so Digital Deluxe Edition owners can get into Sonic Racing Crossworlds right now.
It's neat adding Mega Man. I know that like Sonic Race, that new Sonic Racing game has been doing a lot of crossover stuff, which has been kind of controversial. Like some people feel like it should just be all about Sonic, or at least Sega. But I don't know. See, I don't know. The stream is still hitching and stuttering, so I don't know. We're just gonna leave it alone at this point. It is what it is. We've done enough stream swapping.
On my honor as queen, I shall defeat Kiriko.
My timeless friend, I trust you.
I guess it's a Koei Tecmo game. I don't know if they told us what the Koei Tecmo game was. I wasn't paying attention, or maybe they didn't tell us yet. Yeah, it's very Koei Tecmo, that's for sure.
To rule, one must prove their might.
The light of hope, light unseen at the end of time. Go now!
You wish to become
Shogun that badly.
Maybe you don't want it enough. What makes a shogun anyway?
Takachio! Strength and superiority are what make a shogun, and I have both! Strength alone is not enough to end this war!
Oh, so that was a Neo 3 trailer, okay. February 2026. Quite a few games are coming out in like February, March, I'm noticing in this presentation. This is gonna be a remaster. Or a remake. They showed what I'm guessing was like the PS1, PS2 original of whatever game this is. PS2. Yeah, this is a PS2 game remake. I'm guessing one of the original Dynasty Warriors or something. I'm saying one of them because I don't actually know. That is really interesting how they show, like, Dynasty Warriors 3, okay. It's kind of interesting how they would show, like, the PS2 gameplay, and then they would go back and forth. That's a new Omega Force logo, by the way. That's a new Omega Force logo. That's new. At least new as far as I can tell. I haven't seen any game that uses that logo yet. Hey Valentine, nice to see you here. So we've been constantly like going in between different streams because for some reason it's not being very stable. Like it hitches and stutters, it feels like, no matter what stream I'm on. So at this point I'm just leaving it alone. Like whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, so we are about 20 minutes in, and I believe this is supposed to be 35 minutes. And the only thing in this presentation that at least I personally want to see is, of course, Wolverine, and we, of course, have not seen it yet. But it's supposed to be here. It's supposedly supposed to be here. But obviously, if it is here, it's going to be the last thing. So yeah, there you go. See how it just hitched? That's not me. That's not me. That's not my internet. That's not even YouTube. I think that's just like the stream. Like I don't really understand what's going on with that. I've never had that issue before, really. Code Vein. Okay. Another early 2026. Seems to be most of the games that we're seeing. I mean, not surprising, I suppose, but still.
Back in June, we debuted Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles.
Oh yeah, that's coming out soon.
Today, we're joined by the game's director, followed by news from other special guests who are joining us just as Tokyo Game Show kicks off in Japan.
I saw Neo through the showcase earlier. I got the remastered collection a few days ago. I have the first Neo on PS4, not the PS5 version. I have the original, like 2017 Neo, and then I have Neo 2 remastered. Both of which I got from PlayStation Plus whenever they were given away. I believe Neo 1 PS4 was a part of, like, okay, if you remember when the PS5 first came out, they had the PlayStation Plus collection that had like a bunch of like landmark first party and third party games in it that like they had for a few years. Like I got it from that. And then Neo 2 Remastered was just a part of like a random monthly drop that happened like a year or two ago. I haven't played them. I think years ago I played like a little itty bitty bit of the first Neo, but I've really not played any of them really. But I do have them. Yeah, the stream hitching and stuttering, man. I don't know what to do about it. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. It's just how it is.
いよいよ発表できる時が来ました。タイトル名は
You also notice how there's like a line, like a little line glitch across the screen that happens every once in a while.
開発チーム
Again, I don't know why it's doing that.
近接アクションとローグライトを軸に PVPVE の仕組みを取り入れたいわばエクストラクションアクションゲームとなっています。プレイヤーは地獄門と呼ばれる巨大な穴を探索するレイダーとなり、たくさんの恐ろしい
I still need to play another 2 Night Rain. Yeah, I've actually been playing that a lot lately.
踏破を目指します。
I am one of the 5 people that have never played a FromSoft game. I'm sure I've said that before, but I will reiterate that. I have not played Dark Souls, I have not played Demon Souls, I have not played Elden Ring, I haven't played Bloodborne, I haven't played any of them. Any of them.
レイダーたちは探索とボディの入れ替えを何度も何度も繰り返し、一番強い自分を作り上げてどこまで潜れるかを競うのが醍醐味。
I think I have Bloodborne. Again, from that PlayStation Plus collection from a few years ago. I think I do have Bloodborne. I don't think I have any other FromSoft game. I don't think I have any that's been given away. Like, I don't think FromSoft games tend to get given away on, like... You know how the Epic Games Store does giveaways all the time? I always check to see if there's something that I'm interested in on there. I don't think Epic Games Store has ever given away a FromSoft game or anything like that. Because... I assume because the FromSoft games are, you know, too popular for them to give away. But yeah. The stutter. Oh, man. At least it's not Nintendo Direct. You didn't even get to see the Cyberpunk announcement. Oh yeah, didn't they show Cyberpunk? Was it in the last Direct or the Direct before that, when they were showing Cyberpunk and like something about it was like wrong, and I don't remember what it was. Was it that it was out of sync? Was that what it was? That the audio and video were out of sync? Didn't that happen on, like, one of the Directs? I think that might have been in the April Direct. Didn't, like, partway through, when they were showing a bunch of, like, third-party stuff, like in, like, a third-party sizzle, all of a sudden, like, the audio and video got completely, like, desynced, the audio went away or something? I think that was in the April Direct, though, at least for that specific instance. Shueisha has a games division? There it is! Did you see the line? Did you see the line at the bottom of the screen? I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Yeah, the audio became out of sync, and then the video was soon after. Yeah, and then just the whole chat was like, you know, flipping out, obviously, because it's like, what if they're about to show something important, you know, and we miss it or we can't hear it? Which thankfully that never happened. They fixed it by the time they started showing first-party stuff again or big stuff again. I think they pretty much fixed it by the time they started showing big stuff. But yeah.
Citizens of Pywell. Today, a new chapter in this land's history shall be written by our own hand.
We fight those who wield power to prey on the weak. Beasts who think themselves men.
So the only first-party game we've seen so far is they showed the Housemarque game that was announced. Was it at the Game Awards? Was it at a summer? Was it at No, I think it was in a State of Play. Maybe like the last State of Play or the one before that, when they announced like the new Housemarque game. We saw that at the very beginning of the stream, but we haven't seen any other first-party announcement, including PC ports, by the way. They haven't announced any new PC ports, although frankly I can't think of any other games they need to port. I think they've ported pretty much all the big ones at this point. Right, we have both of the God of Wars, we have Tsushima, we have all the Spider-Mans, we have Ratchet & Clank, we have The Last of Us 1 and 2, we have Horizon 1 and 2, We have Returnal. Until Dawn, Helldivers, of course. I think like all of the big first-party games are on PC at the moment. I don't think there's anyone that's not on PC yet. Not that I can think of. Okay, a new accessory announcement. So they're announcing some speakers. Okay. I actually probably could use some new speakers. The speakers I'm using right now are some old Dell speakers that I've had for basically my entire life. And the only reason I haven't replaced them is because they still sound good. They sound surprisingly good for being like 2005, like came with like an old Dell Dimension, whatever. They actually sound pretty good. They have a subwoofer, like a subwoofer box. They sound pretty good. Good enough for me at the very least. So I'm gonna just use them until they die, and then I'll get new speakers. But I have no idea what those new speakers are gonna be. They support Bluetooth. Average headphone experience, just use them till they die.
Hi everyone, I'm Brett Elston.
And I'm Kristen Zatani.
That was your first look at the Pulse Elevate wireless speakers, which bring the PlayStation audio and chat experience to your desktop with planar magnetic drivers and PlayStation Link.
The only problem with the current speakers is that the volume slider on it is broken. Like, it works, but it doesn't work correctly. It's not a big deal, it's fine, but I think I could fix it if I took it apart, but I'm kind of like worried that I'm gonna like break it by taking it apart. I'm not gonna be able to get it back together because it's not something that's really easily meant to be taken apart. Okay, so we're getting Alan Wake 2 on PlayStation Plus.
The Last of Us Day is this Friday, September 26th. As part of Naughty Dog and PlayStation's annual celebration of this beloved series, we are thrilled to confirm the addition of The Last of Us Part 2 to the PlayStation Plus game catalog. We don't let anybody stop us. Come out and fight! For PS5 members, this includes The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, the definitive way to experience Ellie's story alongside additions like the roguelike survival mode No Return.
Our update to the PlayStation Plus Classics catalog is extra exciting for fans of fighting games and the number 3. Tekken 3 from the original PlayStation and Soul Calibur 3 from the PS2 are coming to the service later this year.
Look at that Tekken logo.
Another all-time classic from the PS2, Tomb Raider Anniversary. And up next,
they gave away games every PS owner has. At least going back to Alan Wake, I don't have Alan Wake. I don't think Alan Wake 2 has been given away. But I assume you're referring to, like, The Last of Us. It is important to note that The Last of Us is only being added to the catalog, which is, like, the thing you get if you have extra or premium, not the PlayStation Plus, like, essentials with, 2 games a month. Not that. That's a very important distinction. I'm still on Essentials. I haven't really felt the need to go any higher than that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, if I want a collection of games, I have Game Pass for that. So I've just stuck with Essentials on PlayStation. Alan Wake is on Xbox. Why buy games that aren't exclusive? Or buy PlayStation Plus for single-player games. Now, when you say Alan Wake is on Xbox, do you mean, like, it's on Game Pass? Because I don't think it's ever been on Game Pass. Not that I've heard, at least. But maybe it's just flown under the radar. Released on Xbox day one. Yes, but I'm talking. Like, are you talking about Game Pass? 'Cause you're talking about PlayStation Plus, you know, not being worth it or whatever for single-player games. So, like, are you talking about Alan Wake being on Game Pass day one, or do you just mean it's on Xbox? Because I don't think it was on Game Pass. It was not a Game Pass day one game. Not that I remember, at least. Okay, so no, you're not talking about Game Pass. Okay. You just mean it was on... It was on Xbox. Okay, is this gonna be it?
Been fighting longer than I can remember.
That sure sounds like... No, it's not. No, it is. It is. There it is, finally. It took 4 years. There it is. PlayStation and Nintendo are basically useless outside of exclusives. I would disagree with PlayStation, because PlayStation is basically like the default console at this point, right? It's the one everyone has, and it gets it gets pretty much all of the third-party games, right? Now, Nintendo is a different story. Now, I'm a big Nintendo fan, but I will fully admit that the only reason to buy their consoles, at least for me, speaking for myself, is for the first-party games. Like, you buy a Switch 2 to play Mario Kart, to play DK, to play Smash and Zelda and all that stuff when it comes out. That's why you buy one. You do not buy one to play third-party games, because why would you spend the same money as the other platforms to play a third-party game that looks and runs worse? Now, if you're playing on the go, if you're using the handheld mode, that's different. But I personally don't. I'm a docked-only guy. So to me, there is literally no point in buying third-party games on Switch or Switch 2. Okay, so I wasn't really paying attention to that trailer all that much. We're going to rewatch it. I wasn't really paying attention too much to that, to be honest. I was kind of distracted by a conversation here. But yeah, fall 2026, so... not too far away.
The question that comes up a lot to us at Insomniac Games is, are you going to make a Wolverine game that is as violent?
Why would anyone buy a PS5 third-party when it costs? Third-party games don't cost more on PlayStation. At least MSRP-wise, they don't. And maybe you mean that, like, on the used market they go for more? And that's generally true, at least from what I've seen. I do think that they are worth... I do think Xbox third-party games especially, they do tend to go cheaper from what I've seen, like, on eBay.
Ball of rage and fury, but then he could turn on a dime. Be very, very kind and tender in the next moment.
When we're casting for someone like Logan, what we're looking for in character traits...
Costs 10 more in America.
...convey a lot with very little being spoken.
When you have that first moment that we show in game,
I mean, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm not saying you're lying. I want to make that clear. It's just that...
He looks gritty, he looks angry, but also he looks maybe a little sad.
That level of acting and being able to just deliver that performance with believability...
It's just that the way you're making it sound, it makes me think that you're saying that, like, oh, so let's say... I'll use a random example. Let's just say Assassin's Creed. Okay, here's Assassin's Creed on PS5, and here's Assassin's Creed on the Series X. The PS5 version is $80, but the Xbox version is $70. That's what it sounds like you're saying. But I could be wrong on that, obviously. But that's not actually true. At least MSRP-wise, it's not. Not that I've seen. If you live outside LA, you pay a tax, and New York City Assassin's Creed is $85, digital every game is $10 more. What state are you in? I am in California. I'm not in LA, but I'm like an hour away from LA. I'm in Southern California, so take that for what it's worth.
You could see it in the trailer. You can see pores. You can see blood in between the little lines.
Okay, so wait, are you talking about... Okay, so wait. This whole thing about... PlayStation games being more expensive than Xbox
The
equivalents.
character who
You're talking about digital. You say you're talking about digital.
The Canadian wilderness, you'll see Japan.
there's a shot where
Okay, because I'm talking about physical when I say the games don't cost more. I'm talking about the physical releases don't cost more. At least when they're new. But Xbox games are cheaper physically on like eBay. That's what I've been talking about. I'm not even talking about digital because I don't really pay attention to digital because I don't buy games digitally really. But
there's a part in the trailer where Logan
hey, if you say it costs more, then it costs more. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just haven't seen that myself.
Wolverine's combat, making that special, making that feel like him, making it feel different to
Man, I'm like barely even paying attention to Wolverine. That's fine. We can just rewatch all this stuff. But I mean, we're gonna at least rewatch like the trailer. We're not gonna rewatch this whole like 10-minute whatever. But we're gonna at least rewatch that trailer they showed after this. But New York City plays $90 for a PS5 game.
Dynamic, it's rough-edged. You notice it doesn't look like our past games. It has a sense of urgency and forward movement and rage and fury, and that's Wolverine.
One of the cool things about Insomniac is they are probably the most collaborative group of people I have ever worked with. They make you feel part of their team. That's not something you always get.
We've been in a creative collaboration with Insomniac Games and PlayStation for over a decade now. We've made some of the greatest superhero games of all time, and that was always the goal, making games that are timeless.
I think fans are going to be excited, but I'm also really excited about it because I'm really
Some
proud of
states
what
you pay
we've
tax
made.
on.
We're focused on making the
Depending on the
best
state.
Wolverine game ever.
For digital games, yeah. That, to my knowledge, is not a thing here. But I can only speak for here, obviously. I don't speak for the rest of the 49 states. Or anywhere else, for that matter. But it's here, to my knowledge, there is no digital tax. But yeah, but I mean, but if that's a thing in other places like you're saying it is, then yeah, that's stupid. Obviously. I've just never heard of it before, really. I've never seen it.
Maybe you don't want it enough.
Yeah, we're gonna rewatch that Wolverine section since I was barely paying attention to it. We're gonna rewatch that. But yeah, I'm very glad we got to see that finally, though. Again, it was about damn time. I mean, we should have seen that like a year ago. Like, obviously they weren't gonna show it until Spider-Man 2 was out the door, but like, man, it was time we saw it. We don't have a definitive like number date, but we do have fall 2026. And you know what? I'll take that at this point. Oh, now we're heading back. All right, because we're not watching this on the official PlayStation one. We're not watching this on the official PlayStation stream. We're watching this on like game trailers. Yes, they still exist. Although I think they're mostly just like a re-upload of IGN stuff because game trailers, they got bought out in 2016 by IGN, and now they basically are like an IGN like re-upload kind of thing. And of course the guys that were on game trailers went on to Easy Allies and stuff and whatever. But anyways, we're getting off track. So yeah, let's go ahead and rewind here. Let's rewind to. See, when I first saw that, I'm like, wait, no, this is not Wolverine. This is like, I don't even know. But then, of course, you see, you know, that, and it's like, well, never mind. So yeah, the only shot we had seen beforehand was like this shot, like not literally this shot, but you know, like the one from the teaser like 4 years ago, where he's just sitting at the bar, and then he does, you know, then the claws come out and everyone loses their minds. Like that, I was like, oh, that's it. That's all we've had for 4 years. 2021 was when this was announced, alongside Spider-Man 2. That's how long we've had to wait for this. they're definitely not skimping out on the gore. That's good. This is definitely a rated M game for sure. That's a plus, obviously. I mean, obviously, Spider-Man is never going to do that. But, like, I'm glad that they're definitely doing that. Because I know that was a talking point that people had, was like, you know, is the game going to be rated M? Are they going to be able to go all in on it? And that's definitely the case, so that's good. I'm definitely excited for Wolverine. I was happy with that Metal Gear 3. GTA 6 is on my birthday too, so I'm lucky. Well, it's on your birthday right now. but this is Rockstar we're talking about, so we'll see if that actually holds up. Okay, let's pause for a second. So this did not register. This did not register when I was watching this because, again, I was like too distracted with our little conversation that I wasn't really paying attention. But okay, that's notable right there. Let's go back. I think I rewinded a little too far. But you saw it was, yeah, Mystique. Yeah, Mystique is in this game.
I ain't no hero. I'm Wolverine.
So the suit looks very much like the suit that we saw in Deadpool Wolverine. I'm sure it's not based on that, to be clear. I'm sure it has nothing to do with it. But it definitely looks like it's like that. As opposed to, say, the Insomniac Spider-Man suit, which is very much its own thing, right? Like, Insomniac's Spider-Man suit is a completely unique design that is not like any other piece of media. It's not like anything from the comics. It's not like anything from the movies. It's not like anything from the TV shows. It's its own completely unique thing, and that's why people like it. I mean, obviously people have their criticisms of the design, but you can't say it's not unique. It's absolutely unique. You see that Spider-Man pop on screen, and you know, okay, this is Insomniac, because it's a completely unique design. This, not so much. This could be like any Wolverine. You know, this could be like any Wolverine, really. So this doesn't feel like an Insomniac-specific design. So if I was going to have a criticism, it would be that. I mean, the suit looks fine. Otherwise, it's just that I kind of wish it was more unique, like Spider-Man's suit was. But who knows? Maybe there'll be another suit that we get later or something. I don't know. Just hope it runs at 60 FPS on base. It probably will, because Spider-Man 2 has a 60 FPS mode, and that's a PS5 exclusive. It will probably have one, and it will probably be fine. I think Spider-Man 2 looked fine on the base PS5 in the 60 FPS mode to me. I mean, obviously, if you had a PS5 Pro, it was better when that came out, but I'm sure it'll have a 60 FPS mode. This isn't like with GTA 6, where people are like really paranoid about it not having a 60 FPS mode. No, this is going to have a 60 FPS mode on base consoles. I am not worried about that at all, and it's going to look fine. It's going to be like at least 1080p resolution. It's not going to be a 720p, you know, FSR2, whatever. No, it's going to look fine at 60 FPS on base consoles. It's not going to be the sharpest, but I'm sure it will be fine. And obviously there's going to be a 30 FPS mode that's like 1440p, whatever, and that'll look fine too. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that.
Really remember a lot of his life, and that's got to be an extremely frustrating aspect.
He's this ball of rage and fury.
Pre-ordering, buying day one. I will probably get this day one, but I didn't end up getting Spider-Man 2 day one, even though I thought I was.
Someone who can convey a lot with very little.
I ended up getting it later, though, but so I don't know. Well, I think it depends on what else is coming out at the time, right? If something else is coming out around that same time that is more important to me, then maybe I'll wait on it a bit. Not like it's a big deal or anything. I mean, it's a single-player game. You can play a single-player game whenever you want. That's one of the conundrums with, like, multiplayer-based games, is that the best time to play it is, like, when it comes out, because the longer time goes on, the less and less people will be playing it. And you'll kind of miss the moment, if that makes any sense. But with single player, you know, you can play it whenever you want. It doesn't matter. So Maybe I'll get it day one. Maybe I'll wait a few months. I don't know. We'll see. But it really is going to depend on what else is coming out at that time. If there's something more important coming out that releases around the same time, then of course I'm going to get that instead. And I'll get this later. But of course I'm going to get this sometime. There's no question about that.
Stamp on that. How do we want to put our own spin and creativity, but still give something?
What else would come out at that same time? Yeah, fall 2026. I mean, that like has a chance of actually being released in that time. I should clarify. I don't know, like 3D Mario. That still hasn't been announced, right? We got Yoshi, but we didn't get Mario in the last direct. That is starting to make me wonder, like, if we really are going to be waiting a while on that. Like, obviously Bonanza's from the Odyssey team and everything. We all know that, but like the concept that we're going to have to wait like till like 2027 or 2028 for a new 3D Mario is kind of crazy. But I mean, who knows? I mean, then again, we're going to be waiting a while for Smash, right? Because of Air Riders, so I don't know. I mean, that's a whole other conversation than this. But...
There's a part in the trailer where Logan jumps down and then he does the claws up through the face. That one I thought maybe was going to be taking it too far, but I am so glad that we have it. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, visually speaking, the game looks pretty good. Unsurprisingly, it's Insomniac. They did a pretty good job with that.
Different to anything else you've played. That's a tough job. What's so cool for me is
I'm not expecting it to be like a ton better than Spider-Man 2 though, but it does look good, and that's what matters. Although maybe they'll take more advantage of the PS5 Pro this time, because of course the Spider-Man 2 came out before PS5 Pro came out, so they didn't really design it with it in mind or anything, whereas this game I'm sure they have more so. Again, I think it's going to be fine on the base consoles. It's going to be fine on the base consoles. I'm sure of that. But still. Okay, so wait. Someone mentioned that they announced who the voice actor is. Who is it? I wasn't really paying attention whenever they said that.
And that was always the goal, making games that are timeless.
Is it anyone I would recognize? Or is it like someone we've never heard of before? Or at least I've never heard of before.
We're focused on making the best Wolverine game ever.
On behalf of everyone at Insomniac Games and the Wolverine team especially, we want to thank you for taking time to watch our trailer. We can't wait to show you more in spring of 2026.
Yeah, again, that suit is very much... Again, that suit looks very much like the one from Deadpool Wolverine, which isn't a problem, again. Not saying it's a problem, I'm just saying that it's not as unique as I would have liked. But what are you gonna do? It's just a suit. It's not a big deal. Again, the suit looks good. It's just I wish it was more unique. I guess now. So that's that, right? It was just a sizzle reel after that point. Okay then. So there we go. That's the state of play. So I mean, I got what I wanted. So I'm satisfied. All I really wanted was Wolverine. We got Wolverine, and not just a trailer, but we got like an in-depth look at it. So I'm good. There were some other announcements in there that were kind of neat. There was a Deus Ex remaster, the original Deus Ex. That's kind of a legendary game for people, so that's kind of neat. Microsoft Flight Sim was announced for PS5. I don't know if that was a new announcement or not. That might have been announced already, so I'm not sure if that's new. I know it was rumored, but I don't know if it was announced already. I think that was a new announcement. Yeah, that's coming out in December, so that's neat, I suppose, and it will have PS5 Pro support, which is a concept that is always weird to think that like the best way to play a Microsoft game is on their competitor, but obviously Microsoft, we all know at this point they don't really care, right? They're all in on multi-plat, they're all in on that. And you know, again, obviously people have very strong opinions on whether that's a good thing or not, but the fact is that's what they're doing. But, as Valentine just pointed out, we still don't have Halo MCC. How has that not been announced yet? Like, come on. That's the one we're waiting on. We have Forza, we have Gears, we're missing Halo, the last of the Holy Trinity. the most important part of the Holy Trinity, and we don't have it yet, even though it's been rumored for like a year. That's going to be coming to not only PS5 but also the Switch 2. Of course, it's not been announced for the Switch 2 either yet. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we get that announced. I mean, I already have it on other platforms anyway, so I'm not gonna be in a rush to buy it for, you know, $60 or whatever. But I want it to be announced, you know, because that's gonna be a historic moment, right? Having the flagship, the mascot on PlayStation. It's gonna be a historic moment, and it hasn't happened yet, even though it's supposed to be happening. I don't know what the holdup is on that, but... And of course, the next game, the one that's being developed in Unreal Engine, that's going to come to PlayStation day and date. There's no question about that. Although I wonder if they're going to bother porting Infinite. Is it going to be worth porting Infinite? Because I'm not really sure. Because Infinite is still getting updates, it's still being supported, but I kind of feel like at this point they're kind of done with it. You know, it kind of feels like, you know, that game is kind of done in terms of like proper support. They're still doing events for it, but it's kind of done in terms of like big new additions as far as I can tell. So I don't know if they're gonna bother porting that, but MCC though is definitely obviously the big one. Get all like the big classic games on there. Cross-platform, all that stuff. So yeah. So yeah, that's the state of play. Again, I'm good. I got what I wanted out of it. So, yeah, that's really about it. Oops, oh, there's a PowerPoint. Close out all that stuff. Well, there's an iTunes icon on here for some reason. Alrighty then, so yeah, I guess that's good. That's pretty much going to be it for me. I don't really have anything else to add. So what's next, as per usual? Well, I know that yesterday, an update for Mario Kart came out. The biggest update we've had probably since the game launched, because all the updates we've had so far have just been like fixes for the most part, including one very infamous change. But the newest update, which I've not played yet, I've not played it because I've not played the game in a while, but the newest update, 1.3, apparently adds a bunch of things that we've been waiting for, such as a map that actually tells you where all the P-switches are and stuff, like that stuff that, you know, we've wanted for months. And they apparently increased the likelihood of the lap-based tracks in online. So obviously people are going to be happy with that. I have not played the update yet, but maybe it's finally time I finally do a stream. I've not done a Mario Kart stream for that game yet. I was going to do it on day one, but then I was kind of like, you know what? I kind of want to enjoy this on my own. I kind of want to have this to myself, you know? And I don't regret that, but I haven't done a stream for Mario Kart at all yet. And another reason I was waiting to do a Mario Kart stream is because I was waiting either for one, my other friends to get a Switch 2, because I didn't know how long that was going to take, and two, eventually, of course, DLC to be announced. And that hasn't happened yet, for some reason. Why that wasn't in the September Direct, I have no idea. That still kind of blows my mind that we got DK DLC announced before Mario Kart, even though we all know it's gonna get DLC. It's Mario Kart. It's one of, like, the big games. It's coming. They just chose not to give us it. But hey, at least we got 1.3 that adds a couple of quality of life features that were sorely needed and also improved the online. So that's cool. So I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm thinking about maybe we could finally do a Mario Kart stream. But other than that, I don't really have any other streams planned at the moment. I mean, I definitely think okay. One stream that I think it is probably about time for us to do again is another Smash stream. I have not played Smash in a few months. And of course, the main reason I've been waiting is because I've been waiting for a patch that hasn't happened yet. And honestly, at this point, for reasons I've stated before, I don't think it's coming, and here's why I believe that. When we got the Kirby Air Riders Direct last month, which was a 4K stream, like all the Switch 2 streams have been, the game itself, from my eye, on my 4K stream, on my 4K screen, it was 1080p. Now, maybe in the final game that'll be different. Maybe there's dynamic res. Obviously, Digital Foundry will, I'm sure, tell us exactly what's going on there. But as far as I can tell with my eye, it's only 1080p. That on its own isn't that big a deal. But the reason why that's concerning is because, well, if this game is only 1080p, then the likelihood of them updating Ultimate to be 1440p or 4K is now way lower. At least in my mind, right? Because if the new game isn't even 1440p, then why would they update the old one to be 4K? But again, maybe when the game comes out in, I think it's November is when it's coming out, like late November is when it's coming out. Maybe Digital Foundry will be like, oh, actually, it's 1440p in docked, and then I'll be pleasantly surprised. But as far as I could tell from the footage we saw, it's 1080p. Which, to me, again, kind of spells doom for a 4K Ultimate patch, in my opinion, but obviously I would love to be proven wrong on that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, at this point, I don't feel like I need to wait. Like there's no point in waiting, because I'm going to be waiting probably forever at this point for us to get some kind of patch that makes the game look better. Not that the game needs a patch. I will emphasize that again. The game does not need a patch. It's fine. It's 1080-60. It doesn't need a patch. I just really want it to get a patch. I just really want it to get one. So that's the reason why I've kind of held off on playing it. But maybe it's about time we finally do that again. I haven't done one since May, I think is when I did the last one. So it's been like 3 or 4 months. It's been long enough. So yeah, no, that or a Mario Kart stream, maybe. In terms of like gaming streams at least. Now, I almost forgot. Galaxy 2, of course, is coming out soon. I have been meaning to stream Galaxy 2 for years after I did all the 3D All-Stars stuff back in 2020. I am not sure if I'm going to do it, though, because I don't know, if I'm being honest, if I really want to blow $40 on that. Like, I'm going to end up getting it at some point. I'm going to. I know I will. I don't know if I'm going to spend $40 to do it, if I'm being honest. Now, we'll see. And to be clear, I don't have to spend $40 real dollars, because I have 2 eShop cards sitting in a drawer. So, it's free if I bought it. But do I really want to spend 2 eShop cards on Galaxy 2? Because I'm not spending $70 to get the physical version with Galaxy 1. So it's either $40 for the digital, or we don't do it at all. Or we could just stream the Wii version, or use Dolphin, of course. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of like, I'm not really settled on that. But other than that, what else do we have? There are some discussions that I've been thinking of doing for a while, but obviously this is me we're talking about, so I do like one video like every 3 or 4 months at this point. So I don't know. I mean, one video I would like to do, and one that I think is kind of overdue, and I know I've mentioned this before, is like I want to do essentially my version of the state of the MCU. It's not going to be that, strictly speaking, but essentially my version of that. That's one. I already have a thumbnail made for it and everything. I just have to get around to actually recording it. But if you want a teaser for what the video would actually be titled and what it would really be centered around, again, I say it's my version of that kind of video because that's kind of what it would be, but it's not strictly going to be about that. What it would be is, the title would be The Near Impossible Task of Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. That's like the title of what the discussion would be. That's like if I were to do a discussion video right now, that's the one I would do. But again, this is me we're talking about, so we'll see. But then again, I made that Series S video after wanting to do that one for quite some time, so... And obviously, I got plenty of time. I mean, Doomsday's not coming out until, what, next year? So I got plenty of time. I don't have to do it right now, obviously. But yeah, I mean, in terms of discussion videos, that's one I would like to do. Other than the obligatory, you know, obviously whenever there's a big event, like obviously when the Game Awards happen in a few months, we're going to do the predictions video for that and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really have anything else besides that. Yeah, one of these days I'll get around to making real videos again. One of these days, I tell you. You know what I should do? You know what I should do? And I've also been saying this for a while. If I'm too lazy to make, like, you know, a proper 10-minute main series video, at least make a short. Like, remember how earlier this year I made that Pokemon Presents? Like, do more of those. Like, at least do that. That's still a video. It has editing, it has transitions and stuff. Like, at least do shorts. That's better than not doing anything at all. And there's honestly a lot of topics I can cover in like a 1 to 3 minute time span that aren't worthy of like a main video or a discussion, but I could still give a thing on. I don't know. I mean, I know one that I've talked about is like, and this is just like a dumb little not matters at all short, would be just like a, hey, remember when directs used to be at 2 p.m. in the West and not always at 6 a.m. every single time? Like, that's a short I wanted to do. Maybe I'll get around to doing it at some point. There's not much to it, obviously. It's kind of in the title. But, yeah. Okay, so I think I've extended this long enough. So, and long and short of it is, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll do a Smash stream. Maybe we'll do a Mario Kart stream. Maybe we'll do that Galaxy 2 stream. We'll see. Beyond that, again, I'd like to do that kind of like Doomsday kind of discussion video. That's the next discussion video I would think of to do that isn't like it isn't like the usual predictions video or anything. Is there any other predictions video? I mean, one predictions video I wanted to do, like a year ago, was a state of physical media video. But I kind of feel like that market has been thoroughly saturated. Like there's a billion videos about the state of physical and whatever. I don't really think I need to do another one of those. Because unlike the Avengers one, where I feel like I could come up with a different angle to it, I kind of feel like I don't need to do that one. Plus, it's changed a lot with the introduction of the game key cards, right? Because I was going to do it before that happened. But now that we have the game key card, that's kind of mucked up the whole situation even more. So it's like, I'm probably not going to bother with that one. Although, to be clear, when I say the state of physical media, it wouldn't just be about games. It would also be about, movies and TV shows and stuff. It'd be about physical media in general. Namely, disc-based physical media. But, I don't know. I think at this point, that has been thoroughly done. I don't think I need to do that. So yeah, aside from the Avengers one and the obligatory, Game Awards predictions and all that stuff that will happen when that happens, it's nothing really else I really would want to do that's like deserving of like a proper like 30-minute plus discussion. Well, actually no, I can think of one other one, although this is one I wouldn't do until the end of the year, and that would be a kind of like the switch to like 6 months later or 6 months in, or one of those kind of videos. Like, I've never done one of those before. I have never done a X product 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years later. I've never done one of those. And obviously a lot has happened with the Switch 2 from its initial reveal in January to now. A lot has happened, for better or worse. But that's exactly why I wouldn't want to do it now, because it's like because it just feels like it hasn't stopped. So maybe in like December we can do a little like thing on that, but we'll see. We'll see. That's really about it. I don't have anything else to say, I think, at this point. So EDT time beat saying strong for Nintendo Directs. Yeah. So trying to think if there's any other last minute thing I can bring up. Just something real quick before we finally head off here. Let me just see if there's anything that's like relevant that I would want to bring up. So this has nothing to do with like the state of play, but remember Pragmata? That was the game that was announced by Capcom in like 2020 during like the big PS5 showcase in June. It's still not out yet. It was announced like 5 years ago, still not out. I believe it had a 2022 release date when it was first announced. And I believe now it's like 2026. That game has been unironically delayed like 3 or 4 times. I believe I saw that apparently it got a new trailer recently. Not a part of the state of play, though. I don't think that was in the state of play. Or maybe it was, and I just wasn't paying attention. I don't think it was in that, though. Yeah, Oh, okay, I just thought... Okay, so... Kirby Air Riders, right? So the game is coming out in November, I think. Or is it December? But Prime 4 is coming out in December. But why do I feel like it's December for some reason? No, I think it's November. So, in the last Direct, we got confirmation that we will be getting a second Sakurai presentation for Air Riders. Of course, we're gonna stream that when it happens. But we don't know when it's happening yet, which is kind of interesting, because normally when they announce those kind of presentations in a Direct, they give us, like, a date. Like, in 2021, when they said, hey, we're not going to show Smash now, but we're going to show Smash in, like, a few weeks, on October 5th, for, like, the final character, they told us that, right? But they haven't done anything like that for this. They just said, another presentation is coming. But if the game is coming out in November, then, like, why not just say it's coming out October 10th or whatever? Like, I don't know. Like, do they just not have a date locked down? I don't know. Not that it matters, but kind of curious, like, how close are they going to cut it? Because if we compare it to Ultimate, right? Ultimate's final Direct was, like, November 1st. Right, of 2018. So like a little over a month before the game actually launched. And yeah, let me just look up. When is Air Riders coming out again? I think it's late. November 20th. It's coming out November 20th. Okay, so maybe like October 15th, 16th? Sounds about right. So, like, 3 weeks away? I wonder how long it's going to be, though, because the last Direct was, like, 45 minutes long, but Sakurai said, we still have a lot of stuff we want to show, and then he teased what was clearly a story mode-related thing at the very end with that CG teaser of that, like, cloaked character on, like, a bike or whatever. So I don't know, that just makes me curious, like, how much more of that game there really is to show. Because I doubt he's going to talk about the new adventure story mode thing for, like, 20 minutes. I mean, maybe he will. I mean, again, closest comparison, rewind to 2018. So, of course, World of Light was announced in that final presentation in November. And it was at the end... But it didn't take up, like, 20 minutes. It was, like, 5 minutes, I think. It wasn't that long, right? We had, the iconic, don't let anyone get away. And we had, the iconic opening scene where everyone gets murked. And then it transitioned to, like, a little, like, sizzle reel. And then I think he talked about it for, like, 5 minutes. Then that was kind of it. So, like... I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, well, if he didn't talk about World of Light that long, then how long is he going to talk about this new mode? Because, like, what else is there to show? Like, that's the thing that's just very interesting to me. Like, what else can justify what I assume is going to be another 45-minute presentation? right? Like, what could possibly take up 45 minutes? I mean, I know that he does all the little gameplay demos and stuff. Like, it's not literally just revealing stuff the entire stream, obviously, but still. I don't know, but we'll cross bridge when we get to it. Okay, we've been going long enough. I keep on going and going and going and going here, but thank you all for watching. Thank you, Antonio, Valentine, as well as G Dollar Prince. Thank you all for watching. Obviously, a lot of fun talking with you guys. Yeah, so stay tuned for whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's a gaming stream. Maybe it's a discussion video. Maybe it's something else. We'll see. But with that being said, this is Logan59XP. And I will see you guys next time.